This is the EcoE 5000W dual motor electric bike, and my honest first impression was a mix of excitement and skepticism. The spec sheet promises a 60V 32-amp removable battery, dual motors, 26x4 fat tires, full suspension, and a claimed top speed that can touch the low 50s mph. On paper, it looks like a mini electric dirt bike with pedals. In hand, it feels like a serious machine that favors power over portability. Key features that stood out to me are the dual motor setup, the 60V 32-amp battery, the fat tires, and the dual suspension. For anyone new to e-bikes, dual motor means there's a motor in both wheels, so traction and torque are much stronger than a typical single-motor fat tire bike. Pedal assist means the bike gives you power only when you pedal, and you can choose how much help it gives. Throttle is twist or thumb power without pedaling, which is fun but drains the battery faster. The 32-amp figure describes capacity. At 60 volts, that's a big pack meant for either long range at low assist or short punchy rides at high power. From my experience, the unboxing and setup aren't hard, but it's not plug and ride either. The frame, wheels, and drivetrain came aligned, but I still had to install the front wheel, handlebars, and accessories. And give the brakes a quick tune. The included accessories are actually useful: mirrors, phone mount, water bottle and holder, a rear cargo rack that doesn't feel flimsy, plus mounts for add-ons. The brand has video guides, which helped more than the paper booklet. The part I noticed right away is the weight. This isn't a featherweight commuter. Lifting it upstairs feels like moving a small moped. I've seen marketing blurbs toss around lightweight and foldable language for similar models, but my bike is neither light nor something I'd call portable. I don't have an exact scale reading, yet it's clearly in that hefty category that makes you think carefully before carrying it. Rolling it around the garage is easy. Picking it up is a chore. If you live in a walk-up, plan for a secure ground floor storage solution. On the road, torque is the headline. With both motors active and assist turned up, it surges. It pulls hard from a stop and scoots up short, steep climbs that make normal 750-watt e-bikes wheeze. On loose gravel switchbacks, the two driven wheels hook up noticeably better than a rear hub-only setup, and the fat tires help it float over sand and rough patches. It doesn't feel nimble in tight turns because of the mass, but the straight-line confidence is real. The dual suspension takes the sting out of potholes and roots. It isn't a magic carpet. Sharp, repeated hits still send some vibration through the frame into the saddle, but compared to a rigid fat bike, comfort is way up. Speed is where expectations and reality need a quick talk. Out of the box, my unit behaved like it was electronically limited around the high 20s mph on flat ground with my weight and no wind. That's common for street-legal settings. The LCD has a settings menu, and the brand's own note says don't change LCD parameters at random, because different bikes use different values. In my opinion, that warning is there for a reason. And I'm not going to suggest anyone go poking around without knowing exactly what they're changing. I will just say, the chatter you see online about higher top speeds usually involves tinkering with those settings, which can affect reliability and local legality. If you want a commuter that sits comfortably at Class 3 speeds, the stock behavior makes sense. If you're chasing 50+ mph, know what you're getting into and where you plan to ride. Range depends entirely on how you ride. On mellow pedal assist, cruising between 15 to 20 miles per hour and helping with my legs, I can stretch it a long way, especially on flat paths. When I run high assist or throttle heavy off-road, the battery drains quickly. That's normal physics. Dual motors plus heavy bike plus hills equals big power draw. Climbing a lot of elevation or doing repeated bursts will chew through capacity. The battery is removable, which I appreciate for charging in the house. Charge time is on the long side with the stock charger. This is a large pack, so topping off before rides is a good habit. If you're planning big weekend rides, a second battery is a smart idea, but factor the cost and weight. Braking is solid. The dual disc setup handled abrupt stops without drama, even with knotty 4-inch rubber, which loves to squirm a little on pavement under hard braking. The 7-speed drivetrain is basic and gets the job done. I mostly used it to spin a comfortable cadence while the motors did the heavy lifting. The LCD is serviceable. Speed, battery, trip distance, assist level. It doesn't feel fancy, but it works. The 600-lumen headlight is bright enough for neighborhood night rides and low-speed trails. I like that the taillight is included. Visibility matters on a bike this quick. Now for the part I wish I didn't have to say. My buying journey had a hiccup. My first order through a third-party marketplace seller arrived with lower specs than advertised. The label showed a 48V battery, the controller felt underpowered, and real-world speed topped out around 29 miles per hour with a short, hard throttle range. It wasn't the 60V32AH dual-motor experience I expected. I returned that one and reordered from a reputable seller, and the second unit matched the 60V32AH description and performed like the torque-happy machine I'm describing here. In my opinion, if you decide to get this bike, purchase from a source that clearly supports returns. Double-check the battery label and controller ratings on arrival, and keep the packaging for a bit while you confirm everything matches the listing. That small bit of diligence can save you a headache. Fit-wise, I'm 5'10" and the bike's size felt right. The listed minimum rider height around 5'7" seems fair. Shorter riders might find the standover and reach a bit tall, especially with the chunky tires. The weight limit around 330 pounds is generous, which aligns with the sturdy feel of the 6061 aluminum frame and the extra mass. It's perfect for riders who want raw, on-demand power, beach or snow float with those 4-inch tires, and the kind of hill climbing that makes steep, loose climbs feel doable without redlining your heart rate. It's not perfect if you need to carry a bike upstairs every day, or if you want a nimble, lightweight city commuter that you can toss on a wall hook. From my experience, the sweet spot is mixed use. City streets during the week, at Class 3 speeds, and trail or fire road fun on the weekend. Keep the tires at the right pressure for your surface. Lower for sand and chunky trails, higher for pavement, and it transforms the ride feel. Check your local rules on speed caps and throttle use. Staying legal makes life simpler. I'd recommend this for riders who value torque and traction over portability, who have a secure place to store a heavy e-bike, and who understand that the massive 60V 32 amp-hour battery gives you either big range with restraint or thrilling bursts with a trade-off in miles. If you have a long commute and expect consistent 35 to 40 miles per hour road speeds with no pedaling, adjust your expectations or plan for extra charging and possibly a spare pack. If your goal is conquering bad roads, sand, snow, and steep climbs without drama, this is where the dual motor setup shines, in my opinion. The riding experience is addictive when you use it for what it's built to do. The accessory kit is thoughtful, the lighting is bright, and the chassis feels tough. The cons are real too. Weight that fights you on stairs, a charger that takes its time, and a speed story that depends a lot on settings and conditions. The caution about not randomly changing LCD parameters is something I take seriously. I want the bike to last, and I want it to be safe and compliant where I ride. In conclusion, the EcoE 5000W dual-motor electric bike is a powerhouse with a personality. Treat it like a compact electric moto that happens to have pedals, not like a featherweight commuter. Verify your specs on arrival, ride within your local rules, and match the assist to your goals. Do that, and you'll get a fast, grippy, climb-anything experience that feels worth the effort. If this video helped, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own range and speed numbers in the comments so others can compare. Thank you for watching.